I'm so thrilled to be here with you today. We're going to have a very special conversation with my friend Karina.
Hi guys, I'm so happy to be here. It's a pleasure. Thanks for inviting me.
Thanks for being here. Actually, we're in your house, so thanks for being in your house and thank you for inviting me. We have a real treat today because you may actually recognize Karina from her channel, English in Brazil.
Yeah, maybe only if they are Brazilians, right?
Right, if you're Brazilian or if you speak Portuguese. And I'm in Brazil. So this is Gabby in Brazil and English in Brazil.
That's so nice.
And we're gonna talk about how Karina learned English because your native language is Portuguese, correct?
Yes.
And now she has an amazing channel, English in Brazil. Actually, I'm a fan of you.
Come on.
I'm serious. That's how I'm here.
I love your channel as well.
Thank you. So I thought it would be interesting for you guys to know about how Karina learned English and how she overcame some fears of speaking a second language. I think we've all been there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, we were talking about how I'm really afraid of speaking Portuguese, and you know, we all have this fear of speaking another language, like, oh, what are people gonna think? Am I gonna make a mistake? Oh my gosh, have you ever felt that way? You can say in the comments. Comment if you've ever felt afraid to speak English. So I want to ask you, let you talk a little bit. How did you start with English? I mean, why did you choose to learn English, and how did you start?
Okay, well, I think I've always had contact with the language because, you know, English is everywhere. So since I was a kid, I used to listen to some songs and they were in English. I knew it was another language,
Yeah.
but I didn't know which language it was, and I didn't understand anything because I was raised in a monolingual family, so nobody speaks English in my family. Now my sister does. She became a teacher too.
That's so cool.
But I mean, my parents spoke only Portuguese at home. And then when I was about 12, I started to love a band called Hanson.
Hanson!
Yeah. I love them until nowadays. And so I started to feel that I needed to learn what they were saying. I wanted to understand what they were singing. And so I started reading some songs and singing to myself, singing those songs to myself.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's how you started with English,
Yes.
just your love of music.
With music. And I didn't understand what they were saying, but I was still trying to pronounce the words correctly and trying to, you know, speak.
Yeah.
To sing, you know. And then I've always studied in public schools. I don't know if you know, but what do you know about the school system in Brazil? Let me ask
I don't know very much, actually. I know there's public, private, but yeah, tell me a little bit.
Yeah. So the public system is worse than the private one.
Okay.
So I mean the quality of education. So that's why I always mention that I've always studied in public schools because, at least in my case, my classes were pretty much focused on grammar. So I knew a lot about grammar, but I couldn't speak the language. But these classes gave me an opportunity to learn a little bit about verb tenses, and about making sentences, affirmative sentences and interrogative sentences. So I had like a basis of the language.
Okay, that's really cool. You know, something that I love about your channel and your kind of showing English is that you travel a lot. I saw some of your videos. You went to Ireland and the United States, and you go to these places. And do you feel like, okay, is there a big difference between what you learned in public school English class and actually going to the United States and speaking English? Just a little difference?
Yeah, there's a big difference. But I've been traveling a lot now because my first international trip was when I was about 22, I think, 22. And then it took me 6 years to travel again.
Wow.
I've been traveling because of my channel. Because
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. So things have been happening now, you know.
Yeah.
I've learned English in Brazil. That's why my channel is called English in Brazil, you know, because
awesome.
I used to practice a lot. So I used to read out loud. I used to speak to myself because I don't know if you guys know, people who are not from Brazil, not many people speak English in Brazil. So that's the problem. We can't find anybody to talk with, you know, so that's one of the problems. I have nobody to talk to.
You know, this is a really good point because a lot of you guys, my naturals, you've been asking me, okay, well, how do I learn English if there's no one to talk to me around in my city? No native speakers, or I don't have any friends who speak English. So you have some really good tips for that. Like you were just saying, you know, talking to yourself. Okay, it sounds a little crazy, but Karina's not crazy. easy. It's just what you have to do. Talking to yourself, preparing. We're talking about like how to not be nervous when you're speaking another language, whether it's, you know, English or Portuguese for me. Preparing in advance, right? So
you were talking about your experience here in some conferences, right?
Yeah. So
you had to talk about your business, and it was like, oh my god,
just
so hard.
Just in conversation, you know, not like a speech or anything, but just in conversation, I had to explain what I do, which is a very common topic, right? You say, hi, what's your name? What do you do? So I had to learn how to explain this, and it's really hard at first. I should prepare more, but now I'm learning how to do that. So I think that's a really good piece of advice for getting over your fear is just practice, right?
Yes, you need to practice. And I know that we are always afraid of exposing ourselves. It's very hard sometimes. I was telling her, I'm nervous to be on your channel now. Oh my god, what's happening? But you know, I'm trying to overcome this fear right here with you guys, because lots of people, not only from Brazil, but lots of people from all over the world are going to watch this video now.
Yeah.
And maybe you might be judging me, oh my god, she's a teacher and she made this small pronunciation mistake. Maybe because people judge people, you know.
People judge, but people, I like to believe that most people want the best. Most people are positive. Most people want you to do well, and they're cheering you on. So if you want to say in the comments like, go Karina, you're awesome, you can leave a positive comment too. That would be really nice. Even though like my Portuguese is good enough to have a conversation, and people say like I have good Portuguese. I don't know.
It's amazing Portuguese.
Actually, if you want to hear me speaking Portuguese, I might speak Portuguese on Karina's channel. You can check out the video. But I still get really nervous. I still get afraid. What will people think? Are they gonna think that I'm dumb or something if I make a mistake? But I mean, really, in reality, what's the worst that can happen? Like,
nothing.
Yeah,
no, nothing.
It's gonna be okay, right?
It's gonna be okay.
If someone makes a mistake in English, of course, I'm not gonna think, oh, they're dumb. Like, no, it happens to everyone. I make mistakes in English all the time.
It's interesting because we as teachers, we always try to encourage our students, come on, speak up, don't be afraid. But then we have our fears as well, you know, so we understand you guys.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't be speaking English in my case and Portuguese in your case if we didn't try, if we didn't make mistakes. It's absolutely normal. So we should just try to relax and speak, because that's the way we learn.
Yeah, absolutely. Relax, speak, and don't give up. Just keep going. Right?
Keep going.
Well, it's so good to have you here at Go Natural English.
Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you so much. And I hope this video helps. I hope you guys feel encouraged to learn English as well. So as I said, my first contact with the language was when I was very young, when around 12. But I started to really learn the language when I was about 16, 17. So it wasn't that young, you know, and I could still learn the language because I was motivated. Learning English was fun, you know. It has to be fun. It shouldn't be like painful and oh my god, I hate, you know, it can be fun. It can be fun.
It is fun. We're having so much fun.
Yeah, that's right. And then a whole new world is going to open for you, because you're going to understand movies, you're going to understand your favorite music, and you're going to read books like the original words that the author used. So it's amazing, isn't it?
Absolutely. And make new friends. So.
And of course. Yeah. And feeling confident when you travel. So it's amazing. It's amazing. As I said, a whole new world is going to open to you.
Absolutely. So don't stop, and come check out our video together on Karina's channel. We'll see you there.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.